Hey, everyone. Today, I want to dive into something we all think about at some point, love. Not just the mushy, rom-com version, but what's actually happening in our brains when we fall for someone, stick with them, or even swipe right. We're talking about the neuroscience of love and attachment, how our squishy gray matter and some clever chemicals team up to make us feel all the feels. So, grab a coffee, get comfy, and let's explore this wild ride together. The science of attraction. Let's start with attraction, because that's usually where it all begins, right? You see someone across the room, your heart does a little flip, and suddenly you're wondering if they're single. Attraction isn't love. It's more like the spark that gets the fire going. So, what's happening upstairs when that spark hits? Well, your brain lights up like a Christmas tree, especially in areas like the ventral tegmental area, or VTA. It's this tiny region that starts pumping out dopamine, a chemical that makes you feel excited, motivated, even a little giddy. Think of it as your brain's way of saying, hey, this person's worth your attention. Then there's norepinephrine, which kicks in to make you feel alert and a bit sweaty. Yep, those butterflies in your stomach? That's your nervous system getting in on the action. Hormones play a huge role here too. Testosterone and estrogen aren't just about physical stuff. They nudge your brain toward noticing someone's smile or the way they laugh. It's like nature's matchmaking toolkit, pushing you to take a chance. The chemistry of love. Okay, so attraction gets you in the door, but what turns that spark into something deeper? That's where the chemistry of love comes in. In those early, can't stop thinking about them days, dopamine and norepinephrine are still running the show, keeping you obsessed and energized. Ever wonder why new love feels like a roller coaster? Blame those two. But then something shifts. As you move from I like you to I need you, other players step up. Oxytocin and vasopressin. Oxytocin's the big one. It's often called the cuddle hormone because it floods your system when you hug, kiss, or even just hold hands. It's like a warm blanket for your brain, building trust and closeness. Vasopressin's its quieter cousin, especially important for guys, helping cement that long-term bond. Together, they're the glue that turns a fling into something you'd fight for. And don't sleep on serotonin. It's the steady eddy of the love game. When your serotonin levels are balanced, you feel content and secure in your relationship. But if they dip, that's when you might get clingy or anxious, overanalyzing every text. Love's a chemical dance, and these molecules are calling the shots. The neuroscience of attachment. Now let's zoom out a bit and talk about attachment, how we connect to people over the long haul. Ever heard of attachment styles? They're like blueprints for how we love, and they start way back in childhood. There's secure attachment, where you feel safe and confident with someone, then anxious, avoidant, or a mix, where you might worry too much or pull away. These patterns come from how our caregivers treated us as kids. If mom or dad was reliable, we learn trust. If not, we might spend adulthood second-guessing everyone. As adults, these styles shape our relationships big time. An anxious person might need constant reassurance, while an avoidant one might dodge commitment like it's a hot potato. And where's this playing out in the brain? Look at the amygdala. It's your emotional alarm system, freaking out when you feel abandoned. Then there's the prefrontal cortex, the voice of reason trying to calm things down, and the hippocampus, storing memories of past loves to guide you. It's a team effort, and attachment is the playbook they're reading from. The evolution of love. So, why do we even have all this wiring for love and attachment? Way back when pairing up wasn't just nice, it was survival. Love kept couples together long enough to raise helpless little humans who take years to fend for themselves. Oxytocin and vasopressin? They're not just for warm fuzzies. They bonded parents to each other and their kids, boosting the odds everyone made it through the winter. Love also glued communities together. Think tribes sharing resources or defending each other. It's why we're wired to care, not just about our partner, but our friends and family too. Fast forward to today, though, what's next? Technology's shaking things up. Virtual reality dates, AI companions. Will love evolve with our gadgets? Maybe, but at its core, it's still about connection, and that's not going anywhere. Love in the modern world. Speaking of today, Let's talk love in the 21st century. It's a mixed bag, isn't it? On one hand, we've got more ways to meet people than ever. Swipe left, swipe right, there you go, an instant date. Dating apps lean hard on that dopamine hit. Every match feels like a mini victory. But there's a flip side. Social media can mess with our heads, comparing our messy relationships to everyone's highlight reels. Plus, ghosting? It's like the amygdala's worst nightmare. Still, there's hope. The modern world gives us tools to understand love better, like neuroscience. Knowing how our brains work can help us build healthier bonds. Emotional intelligence is key, learning to listen, empathize, and not freak out when someone doesn't text back right away. We've got challenges, sure, but also the chance to love smarter, deeper, and more intentionally than ever before. Wrapping it up. So, here's the takeaway. Love's not just poetry or magic. It's a complex experience that involves brain chemicals and hormones. From that first spark of attraction to the quiet comfort of attachment, our brains and bodies are hard at work. Dopamine gets us hooked, oxytocin keeps us close, and our past shapes how we connect. Evolution built this system to keep us alive and together, and now we're remixing it for a digital age. It's wild, messy, and beautiful, and honestly, isn't that what makes it worth it? Thanks for hanging out with me on this brainy love tour. Next time you're smitten or even annoyed with your partner, give a little nod to your neurons. They're doing their best. If you found this helpful, feel free to share it with someone who might benefit from it. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.